Hello and welcome to my review of the Genestealer Cult's Genestealers from Games Workshop. For whatever reason, they're not in the Genestealer Cult army section of Games Workshop's web store. They're in the Tyrannid section. I'm sure it's a mistake. There's no reason why they couldn't just duplicate their place in both armies. You know, Genestealer Cults have Genestealers in there. The Genestealer brood itself will cost you £20. I've accumulated these from different box sets and things, and I think they start collecting box set of Tyranids as well at some point. But the brood itself, for £20, you will get 8 of them, so that's over £2 each. Let's face it, which is quite pricey for models that are, well, you can pose them in various places. You know, the kit still holds up. It's, I want to say, 20 years old, 15, 20 years old, something like that. You can have them with claws, with talons, with just the hands. They've got loads of different heads. The mold lines are a bummer because there's mold lines on every single arm and on the legs. The one thing that's good about them is they're on the slaughter bases, and actually you can get rid of some of the scenic claws and things that are there. I've got a few of them on city kind of bases as well, which works. So what I'm going to do is just have a look at a couple of the models there, and then we'll do some size comparisons and we'll go straight into their rules from the 8th edition Genestealer Cult Codex. So typically there's one with some talons. Looks like it's about to slice someone in two there. We've got this one, which is a very iconic pose. You know, not the jazz hands, but just, you know, about to grab prey or something. Give you a proper bear hug with all those 4 arms. But they must weigh a ton, you know, on the top. They've got some decent legs on them, but you know, having 4 arms must put a lot of weight on those two legs, 2 limbs. But obviously they're fast, you know, fast little creatures. And final stage of you know, the Genestealer Cult invasion, you get these things popping out. You know, you're getting these in Space Hulks as well. They do pretty well against Terminators, even though Terminator armor is pretty amazing. But yeah, they are, if you think Warhammer 40,000, you think Tyranids, typically you think Genestealers, and hence why we've got Genestealer Cult army as well. Okay, so let's do some size comparisons. So the biggest kind of Genestealer of them all, other than the Broodlord, which works well, both of them work well, is the Patriarch. So this is the HQ choice. It would be cool just to field an army with the Patriarch and just everything else as Genestealers. That would be amazing. But as you can see, the biggest HQ in the set, and it works really well with all the, I'll say, smaller Genestealers. This is the Magus, you know, quite a tall model. You know, and you bundle in a few familiars, like mini kind of Genestealers, and it works really well. So that's where they sort of hold up. In terms of Imperial models, Space Marines are, yeah, taller. You know, definitely taller. But obviously, if the Genestealer was, you know, fully upright, it would definitely be taller than normal Space Marine. Primaris, the new kids on the block, are a fair bit taller and look like they could handle their own against them, specifically from range at least. So there you go, there are all the size comparisons. So this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules. So you'll find them in the 8th edition Codex, under Elites, under Purestrain Genestealers. There are power points cost of a 4 and a points cost of 15 per model. That's quite decent. You can have 5 to 20 in a unit, and I'd definitely try and go for 20, or even just put 10 in a Goliath truck or something like that. Stat line reads movement of 8 inches, weapon skill 3+. Would have been nice if it was 2+, but you know, they are like creatures at the end of the day. Strength of 4, toughness 4, 1 wound, 3 attacks, leadership 9, and a save of 5+. They've got a lot of attacks there. Their strength and toughness are good, got high leadership, just terrible save. So the unit contains 5 Purestrain Genestealers. It may include 5 additional Purestrain Genestealers, up to 10 additional Purestrain Genestealers, or up to 15 additional Purestrain Genestealers, and each Purestrain Genestealer is armed with rending claws. So war gear options, any model may take Purestrain talons. So you've got a choice there. So the rending claws, which they come with already, Strength of the user, which will be 4, AP -1, damage 1. Each time you make a wound roll of 6+ for the weapon, that hit is resolved with an AP of -4. That's fantastic. You know, you're getting your 6s with those 3 attacks. You know, you get 10 of them, that's 30 attacks. You got a good chance of getting a few 6s in there, and the 6s you do get, they'll be running at AP -4. The Purestrain Talons, if you want to go for Talons instead, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 for attacks with this weapon. So it's either rerolling hit rolls or, you know, placing your bets and try and go for that AP -4. Abilities: Cult Ambush, Unquestioning Loyalty, and then Flurry of Claws. Add 1 to the attacks characteristics of models in this unit whilst it contains 10 or more models. This is why I suggest going for, well, 20, because then you can add an extra attack. You have 20 of them, that's 60 attacks. You add another attack for them, that's 80 attacks. That is horrific. Lightning reflexes. Models in this unit have a 5+ invulnerable save, so the save wasn't bad after all. We still have an invulnerable save. Swift and deadly. This unit can charge even if it advanced during its turn. That's very good too. You want something that can charge even if it advances, because they don't have any, you know, they don't have a ballistic skill, they can't fire anything. Keywords: Tyranids, Genestealer cults, Infantry, Genestealer, Purestrain Genestealers. So there you go. Very, very lethal as always. They are as lethal as they were in the Tyranid Codex. However, in the Tyranid Codex, they do have some additional extras, such as a ballistic skill of 4+. They still have the invulnerable 5+ save, but you can have extended carapaces with them, which give them the 4+, but miss out on Swift and Deadly, and I'd rather have Swift and Deadly. They still have the Flurry of Claws, but they have Infestation, where you've got Infestation nodes, pretty good, and they can have these Flesh Hooks and Acid Maws, which are different sort of weapons. The Acid Maw has the AP -3, which is decent, and the Flesh Hooks, they're alright, you know, just strength of use assault 2, and on top of all that, they do count as troops. Now, that's really, really odd, actually, to have a Genestealer cult army and not have Genestealers as troops. Instead, you've got them as Acolyte hybrids or Neophyte hybrids, or Brood Brothers infantry squad. It would have been nice to have like Purestrain Genestealers, you know, these guys as elites, but then have like a lesser unit that missed out on something, maybe a worse weapons, I don't know, just something different where you can have them as troops. It would be cool to have a Genestealer cult army where Genestealers were troops, because that's what Tyranids can get. Anyway, what are your thoughts and opinions about this and the models? Do you think that they need to be changed and upgraded, more detail and things? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. For the Norn Queen.